So before you go to the doctor's office, you should have your questions. Write your questions down so you make sure that they're answered. Make sure you understand what you need to get out of that visit so you can let the provider know so that you make sure you have enough time to get that answered. And bring all your medications so that if there's a question, you can review them with the provider and make sure that you have the right medication and the right answers.
When you're in a doctor's appointment, make sure you stop the doctor or nurse if you don't understand the medical terminology. Ask questions.
So during the visit, make sure that you ask questions, especially if there's medical terms that you don't understand. And it's important to repeat back what you understand to make sure that you and the provider and the doctor are on the same page about what's going to happen.
I can say that at many times that I would let conversations go by, and the kind of joke was that I would just shake my head because naturally I was just trying to absorb things and didn't feel like I really could weigh in. It's important to have a good understanding yourself, and that could be difficult if you don't really have a background.
Never be afraid to ask questions. So even doctors ask questions. Doctors sometimes forget to explain things in simple terminology, and when you're the patient, there's a lot more to understanding what's going on. There's a lot of emotion, and so even doctors like things to be explained in easy to understand answers, and sometimes doctors forget that. So never be afraid to ask questions. That's important.
Si usted no entiende lo que le está diciendo un doctor, por favor dígale al doctor y pregúntele o dígale que no entiende esa parte y que si por favor le puede explicar un poco más.
Try to be organized before you go. Call ahead and tell your doctor that you're going to need a little bit extra time if it's a well check.
Cuando va a ir a visitar su doctor, es importante que usted escriba las preguntas que le quiere preguntar al doctor. Si es posible, le puede llamar al doctor antes de su cita y le puede decir que tiene algunas preguntas y a lo mejor va a tener que tomar un poco más tiempo con el doctor.
So when you're referred to see a specialist, there's some basic questions you need to know. So is the specialist in my network? Will the specialist have an extra copay? So you need to understand some of the network aspects of your insurance when you go see a specialist. In addition to that, it's important to understand why are you going to see the specialist? What role is the specialist going to play in your child's care? So having a basic understanding of what the question is and what to expect from the specialist. Are you going to see them once to get an answer to a question, or are you going to continue to see that specialist for ongoing care? Families need to understand the role of the specialist in the care plan for their child and how the specialist is going to communicate to their medical home. So a family should ask, how's the information going to get back to their medical home or their primary care doctor? And what do they need to do next? Do they follow up with the specialist, or do they go back to the primary care doctor and follow the plan of care there?
Don't be afraid to ask questions, and don't be afraid to have someone repeat things.
Si por favor también puede decirle al doctor que usted necesita la atención de él. Lo sabemos que los doctores siempre están muy ocupados, pero su tiempo con el doctor es muy importante. Y si el doctor no le está dando la atención, por favor le dice al doctor, necesito su atención.
Take some time for yourself and research, educate yourself and your family about what's best for your child. And I think, you're doing a good job if you take some time and just really understand what they're suggesting.